What if I told you that on July 1st, 2025, the Milwaukee Bucks made the most expensive sacrifice in NBA history? Not because of a trade, not because of a signing bonus, but because they made a decision so shocking, so unprecedented, that they're going to pay a player $113 million over the next 5 years, and that player will never play a game or dribble a basketball for them again. Would you believe it? And what am I even talking about here? I'm talking about the Milwaukee Bucks' decision making in the largest financial sacrifice in basketball history. And folks, this story has everything: championship dreams, career ending injuries, possibly, angry superstars, and enough money to buy a small country. Stay with me here, because what happened didn't just change two teams, it rewrote the rule book on how much a franchise will pay for a chance at glory. All right, let's rewind the clock just a little bit and talk about how we got here, because this story is wilder than any movie script you could see. In September of 2023, the Milwaukee Bucks, led by superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo, desperately needed a second star. They tried for years to find a perfect partner for the Greek freak, and finally they landed their trailblazer, Damien Lillard. Now, Dame Lillard wasn't just any player. This guy is a 9-time All-Star, the kind of player who could score 50 points in a playoff game and make it look so easy. The Bucks gave a lot up for him, including fan favorite Drew Holiday. But they thought they had their championship duo. Fast forward to April of 2025, the Bucks are in the playoffs, facing none other than the Indiana Pacers. It's game 4, the fourth quarter. Lillard dives for the basketball. Pop! His Achilles tendon snaps. Career threatening? Yes. Career ending? Hopefully not. Season definitely over. Championship dreams? Crushed. But here is where it gets interesting. While Lillard is lying on the court in agony, the Pacers are making their own magic happen. They ride the wave all the way to the NBA Finals, where their young superstar Tyrese Halliburton also tears his Achilles in Game 7. Basketball can be so cruel, folks. Now let's talk dollars and cents, because this is where things get really wild. When Lillard got hurt, he still had 2 years with $113 million left on his contract. That's more money than most of us will see in 10 lifetimes. And here's the kicker. The Bucks still had to pay every single penny, even if he never played again. But wait, it gets even worse. Lillard's salary was eating up so much of their budget that the Bucks couldn't even afford to sign any other good players. In NBA terms, that means they're in salary cap prison, stuck paying huge money for a player who might never play again or even return to form. Then, like a gift from the basketball gods, Miles Turner becomes available. He was a free agent. Turner had just played in the NBA Finals with Indiana, averaging nearly 16 points, 6 rebounds, while shooting almost 40% from the three-point line. He's exactly what Milwaukee is looking for: a young, athletic center who could stretch the floor and protect the rim. There was just one tiny problem. Turner wants $107 million over 4 years, and the Bucks are broke. So what do you do? What do you do when you want to buy something expensive, but your wallet is empty? Well, if you're the Milwaukee Bucks, you make history. The Bucks decided to use something called the stretch provision. Think of it like turning one huge credit card payment into smaller monthly payments. Instead of paying Lillard $54 million next year and $59 million the year after, they spread $113 million over 5 years, $22.5 million per year. Now, let me put this in perspective. This is the largest waive and stretch in NBA history. The previous record was for Nick Batum, who had $27 million back in 2020. Lillard's deal, 4 times bigger. We're talking tripling the record. It's like the previous record for eating hot dogs was 20, and someone came along and ate 80. That's how unprecedented this move is. But here's the beautiful part. It worked. By spreading out Lillard's payments, the Bucks created enough salary cap space to sign Turner to that massive 4 years and $107 million contract. Now, here's where our story gets even more drama, because not everyone is happy with the decision. The franchise player, the guy they're trying to do all this for, he reportedly is not pleased with his team's decision to waive Lillard. Sources say he was blindsided by the move and did not appreciate how it was handled. Oops. Think about it from Giannis's perspective. He had developed a relationship with Lillard. They were supposed to win a championship together, and suddenly the front office cuts his teammate loose without even giving him a heads up. That's going to sting. Meanwhile, Lillard's agent put out a statement saying this was actually an incredible opportunity for Dame. He gets all of his money, guaranteed, becomes a free agent, can choose where he wants to play once he recovers, and could take anywhere from 8 months to 18 months to do that. And for Turner, well, he's probably feeling pretty good right now. He went from a team that lost their best player, out for at least a year in Tyrese Halliburton, to going to play with Giannis in a championship aspiration. Plus, he gets that big contract. So, big question, does this move help or hurt Milwaukee? Well, let's look at it from the positive side. Turner, 29 years old, 8 years younger than Brook Lopez, who they just lost to free agency to the Clippers. Turner shot 40% from three-point line last year, which means he can stretch the floor, give Giannis some more room to operate. Plus, he averages 2 blocks a game, so he can protect the rim. Gambling markets seem to think this is a good idea. Milwaukee's championship odds went from plus 6,000 to plus 4,000 after the transaction. That's a 33% improvement in their title chances. But there are some downsides. They're going to be paying Lillard $22.5 million through 2030 for nothing. He does nothing for them. That's money they can't spend on other players. It's like paying rent on an apartment that you're not really living in, and you do it for 5 years. Plus, Giannis factor, the player option for 27-28. And if he's really unhappy and how the organization handled the situation, he might not stick around. He might leave Milwaukee, which would be even more of a disaster. This move doesn't just affect Milwaukee, though. Let's also think about it and how it affects others, like Indiana. Losing Turner is huge. He was their defensive anchor and a veteran leader. And now they're rebuilding around Tyrese Halliburton, who's not even there, who's recovering from his Achilles and will miss all of next season. The Pacers went from the NBA Finals to question marks overnight. For Lillard, this opens some interesting possibilities. Once he becomes an unrestricted free agent who can sign anywhere. Imagine him in Miami, back in Portland, or teaming up with someone like Luka in Los Angeles. The drama is far from over. And for the league as a whole, this sets a whole new precedent. We just learned teams are willing to pay over $100 million to have dead money if it means they improve their championship odds. That's going to change how general managers think about these decisions moving forward. So there you have it, folks. July 1st, 2025, the day the Milwaukee Bucks made $113 million. Well, actually lost $113 million. The day the Milwaukee Bucks made $113 million bet on a championship. They sacrificed their relationship with one superstar to potentially keep another, turned the largest waiver and stretch in NBA history into a centerpiece acquisition, and showed the basketball world that sometimes the biggest risks lead to the biggest rewards. Will it work? We don't know. But we'll find out next season when Turner suits up alongside Giannis, and the Bucks still write a $22.5 million check to Dame, who'll be sitting on a beach somewhere. One thing's for sure. They made their bed, and now they have to sleep in it for the next 5 years. See you later.